This pharmaceutical standard, statins, defines the current medical approach to postmenopausal cardiovascular decline. To mitigate risk, lipid-lowering medications and bone density drugs are distributed to aging women as a primary line of defense. Yet for this exact same patient population, physicians routinely avoid prescribing oral estradiol for the identical clinical indications. The origin of this aversion lies in the Women's Health Initiative trials, which utilized conjugated estrogens. Those results permanently linked hormone therapy to an increased risk of cardiovascular events and thrombosis in the clinical consciousness. Because the WHI utilized synthetic molecules derived from equine sources, the study created a clinical heuristic that modern medicine now incorrectly applies to bioidentical human 17-beta estradiol. By adhering to this outdated perspective, the medical establishment inadvertently restricts the vascular system's access to its primary survival mechanism. Clinical data reveals an anomaly that challenges the standard protocol. Healthy postmenopausal women receiving 2 milligrams of oral 17-beta estradiol show significantly less progression of intramedial thickness in their arteries. This specific dose correlates with actual atherosclerotic plaque regression, a systemic reversal of disease that statins alone rarely achieve. How does a hormone, previously categorized as a cardiovascular risk, actively dissolve established arterial plaque? To find the answer, we must move past macroscopic outcomes and examine the cellular mechanics of the arterial wall. Plaque regression relies on a microscopic communication network that remains largely absent from standard cardiological training. Endothelial dysfunction serves as the absolute biological starting point of atherosclerosis. The primary threat to this lining comes from inflammatory cytokines, specifically tumor necrosis factor alpha, or TNF-alpha. When TNF-alpha binds to the endothelium, it triggers apoptosis, programmed cell death, causing individual cells to shrivel and detach. This loss of cellular volume compromises vascular integrity, creating microscopic leaks and physical gaps in the endothelial barrier. Circulating LDL cholesterol particles exploit these gaps, infiltrating the subendothelial space known as the intima. This infiltration triggers an immune response. Macrophages enter the tissue to consume the LDL, transforming into rigid foam cells. These accumulate, pushing the arterial wall upward, forming a plaque foundation. Without a biological defense to neutralize TNF-alpha at the source, age-related arterial collapse and plaque accumulation become inevitable. The body's native defense against this collapse is the Notch1 signaling pathway. Notch1 is a highly conserved intercellular communication network that enables adjacent endothelial cells to function as a cohesive, impenetrable barrier. This network is activated exclusively by estrogen receptor beta, located on the surface of the endothelial cells. 17-beta estradiol functions as the specific molecular ligand that docks with estrogen receptor beta to energize the entire Notch1 network. An active estradiol-powered Notch1 network directly repels TNF-alpha, halting the apoptotic cascade and preserving cellular life. The cessation of ovarian estradiol production at menopause effectively unplugs this network, leaving the endothelium defenseless against inflammation. Standard endocrine therapy for breast cancer survivors relies on drugs like tamoxifen to block the effects of estrogen. While this is intended to prevent recurrence, clinicians must acknowledge that blocking estrogen also shuts down the Notch1 pathway systemically. Beyond its reproductive role, human 17-beta estradiol provides the structural requirement necessary for vascular survival and cellular communication. Because systemic estradiol is required for vascular survival, the specific route of administration determines the final cardiovascular outcome. Clinical preference currently favors transdermal estradiol, patches and creams, to avoid the liver's first-pass effect. Transdermal routes relieve systemic symptoms like hot flashes and bone density loss, while successfully bypassing hepatic processing. However, by bypassing the liver, transdermal estradiol fails to trigger the metabolic shifts necessary for cardiovascular protection. Oral administration operates quite differently. When ingested, the estradiol flows directly through the portal vein and into the liver. This triggers the hepatic first-pass imperative, a lipid-altering cascade that occurs only when the liver processes estradiol orally. This process upregulates the production of the atheroprotective HDL2 subfraction and its carrier protein, ApoA1. Simultaneously, the liver downregulates the production of atherogenic ApoB and triglycerides. These hepatic lipid shifts facilitate a process called reverse cholesterol transport. Reverse cholesterol transport works with the Notch1 pathway to physically pull oxidized LDL out of the foam cells and return it to the liver for excretion. This is the mechanism behind plaque regression. Substituting transdermal for oral estradiol neutralizes the hormone's ability to execute reverse cholesterol transport, leaving the cardiovascular system compromised. The failure of the Notch1 pathway and reverse cholesterol transport manifests as the macroscopic symptoms observed in clinical practice. Cardiometabolic syndrome is the direct physiological consequence of these molecular failures. This intake form, with its checks for heart disease and high blood pressure, reflects the reality of the syndrome: insulin resistance, dyslipidemia, and an increase in visceral fat. A common clinical misconception is that these escalating symptoms are simply the natural results of aging. Attempting to treat these symptoms individually with various pharmaceuticals while ignoring the root estradiol deficiency is a biologically incomplete strategy. The flaw in current cardiovascular protocols is a failure to distinguish between hormone types. Clinical practice requires a separation between synthetic and bioidentical molecules. The historical risks of thrombosis and cardiovascular events belong in the synthetic column. The bioidentical column contains the mechanisms to halt vascular decay, Notch1 activation, and reverse cholesterol transport. This box of Fosamax represents the standard, fragmented approach to menopausal health. Relying on polypharmacy while ignoring basic vascular biochemistry is inadequate for preventative medicine. Prescribing bioidentical oral 17-beta estradiol functions as a necessary biological intervention to rescue the endothelium, restore metabolic homeostasis, and reverse cardiometabolic disease.
If you're interested in exploring more of these incredible connections, from hormone optimization to metabolic psychiatry and regenerative medicine, be sure to subscribe and follow for more explainers just like this one. Thanks so much for watching this Within You Health production.